Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Just wanted to stop in and say hi to everyone. And I see everybody is still talking about relationships. So it brings me back to the uh, scriptures in the Bible about the man is to have one woman. It became confusing because of all of the different children and different wives. So God said, have one woman, and that's good enough for me, one husband. Um, the story I would like to share with you is the story of Joseph. Joseph was one of the younger children, one of the last two that Jacob had in the Bible. And all the wives that he had and all the children that he had, for some reason they were jealous of Joseph. Happens in families, all the time. Decided that we're going to kill him. We're just going to kill him. And one of the brothers had compassion and said, no, let's just dig a hole and put him in the hole and leave him. And they dug the hole, put him down in the hole, and they killed an animal and put the blood on the coat that Joseph's father gave him. It's called the coat of many colors. They didn't have a coat. You ever have your kids squabbling about things like that? This is a perfect example. They didn't have a coat. They were always talking about the coat of many colors that their father gave to Joseph, and that's why they did it. So you have problems in the family with different wives, different children, all of this. It was too much. Even God said it was too much. So just be careful about following the right thing to do. They put him in a hole, and went back and told the father that an animal had killed him and showed him the blood on a coat of colors. Well, you know the story of Joseph. Joseph ended up, he went to the city. The Midianites sold him, and he ended up in a city where he was put over a rich man's entire household. And he was doing good, but the wife wanted Joseph, and he wouldn't sleep with her. So she told her husband, well, he tried to rape me, etc., and they threw him in prison. So he was in prison for things that he didn't do. So he's one of the ones in the family that went through something. There are a lot of Josephs. There are a lot of women and men that have been through this in families. It tears the family apart. So he was languishing in prison, and the king had a dream about 7 ears of corn and seven calves that came out of the ocean. Seven calves were skinny, seven were fat. Look it up, read it sometimes. And he couldn't interpret the dream. And the baker had did something to the king, and he was in prison for a brief time with Joseph. And he remembered Joseph could interpret dreams, so he brought him before the king, and he interpreted the dreams. So Joseph was the one that ended up saving a lot of people, because it would be 7 years of famine after 7 years of plenty. So he stored up all the food. He saved his family, he saved his father, and he saved his brother. So just for the ones that are going through it in families and the disruption comes about, the hard things that you go through sometimes can take you to a new place. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for joining me.